Welcome to Uncommon Facts, your ultimate channel for exploring everything extraordinary. Are you ready to uncover truths and debunk myths across all realms of knowledge? From history's hidden stories to tomorrow's technology, from Earth's deep mysteries to cosmic enigmas, we dive deep into it all. Every week we bring you facts that are as fascinating as they are rare. Dive into stories that will astonish, educate, and inspire. So make sure to subscribe and join us as we uncover the secrets of the unusual and the unknown. Here, every fact is a journey, and every story is an adventure. Join us every week as we bring you surprising revelations and strange facts that will challenge your understanding of the world around you. So hit that subscribe button and let's start unraveling the mysteries of the universe together. Remember, every discovery tells a story and every fact opens a door. Stay curious and prepare to be amazed. This is Uncommon Facts, where the only thing you can expect is the unexpected.
Have you ever wondered if everything you've heard about science is true? What if some of the most popular facts we know are actually myths? Today, we're going to take a closer look at some of the most common science myths you've probably heard and reveal the truth behind them. Maybe you've been told we only use 10% of our brains, or that the Great Wall of China is so big it can be seen from space. It's time to find out what's real and what's pure fiction. Let's dive into the first myth. We only use 10% of our brains. This myth has been repeated for decades, and you've probably heard it at least once. It's an idea that pops up in movies, self-help talks, and books. The story goes that if we could tap into the remaining 90% of our brain, we'd have unimaginable abilities, maybe even superhuman intelligence. But is there any truth to this? The answer is no. Scientific research has shown that we actually use nearly every part of our brain at some point during the day. Different areas of our brain control different functions, like memory, movement, emotions, and decision-making, and they're all constantly working together to help us navigate through life. Even when we're daydreaming, resting, or sleeping, various areas of our brain stay active, controlling vital functions like breathing, heartbeat, and balance. So where did this myth come from? Some believe it started because scientists once didn't fully understand the functions of certain areas in the brain, calling them silent areas. This misunderstanding may have snowballed, and the myth gained traction over the years. Others think it might have been a catchy line from early self-improvement lectures, suggesting we all have untapped potential. Whatever its origins, the myth of only using 10% of our brain just doesn't hold up to modern science. But think about it. Isn't it even more amazing that our brains are so complex and active all the time? Rather than thinking of our brains as 90% unused, it's pretty incredible to know that all parts of our brain contribute to who we are, constantly working to keep us moving, thinking, and feeling. Next up, the Great Wall of China is the only human-made structure visible from space. It sounds amazing, doesn't it? The idea that something as massive as the Great Wall would be so prominent that it stands out from miles above Earth has inspired millions. But as cool as this idea is, it's not actually true. While the Great Wall of China is indeed a remarkable feat, stretching over 13,000 miles, it's actually pretty narrow when viewed from above. In fact, from the perspective of an astronaut orbiting in space, the wall is almost impossible to see with the naked eye. Astronauts who have been in orbit around Earth say that it's extremely difficult to make out individual human-made structures, especially ones like the Great Wall that blend into the natural surroundings. So why do some people still think it's visible? Part of the myth likely grew out of misunderstandings and exaggerations over time. After all, it's easy to imagine something as vast as the Great Wall stretching across the landscape. But visibility from space requires both large size and distinct color contrast. Interestingly, astronauts can see some human-made structures from space, but they're usually much more visible at night. Cities glow with artificial lights. Large airport runways stand out because of their size and brightness, and some large road systems are faintly visible. But the Great Wall of China, it doesn't stand out like that. So, while this myth may sound amazing, it's just not accurate. Myth 3. Lightning never strikes the same place twice. This one is a classic. You might even hear people say it for reassurance. If a tree, a building, or even a person has been struck once, it's often believed that they're safe from another strike. But in reality, this myth is far from the truth. Lightning can and does strike the same place multiple times, especially in places where tall structures are present. Take, for example, the Empire State Building in New York City. This iconic skyscraper is struck by lightning around 20 to 25 times each year. In fact, tall objects like skyscrapers, radio towers, and even certain mountaintops are prime targets for lightning because they are closer to the clouds where electrical charges are building up during a storm. So, if you've heard that lightning never strikes the same place twice, now you know that it's just a saying, not a fact. Lightning seeks the shortest path to the ground, and tall objects make the perfect route for it to travel. So if you're ever caught in a storm, avoid tall objects, open fields, or anything that could make you the highest point in the area. Before we continue, if you're finding this video interesting, make sure to hit the like button, share this with someone who loves science facts, and subscribe for more videos from Uncommon Facts. Your support helps us bring more fun and factual content to you. On to Myth 4. Sugar makes kids hyperactive. Many parents swear that giving their kids candy or sugary treats makes them bounce off the walls. It's a common belief that sugar is the reason for their sudden burst of energy. But does sugar actually cause hyperactivity? Scientists have researched this connection for years, and surprisingly, there's no strong evidence to support the idea that sugar alone makes kids hyperactive. Many studies have shown that sugar does not directly cause children to act out, become extra energetic, or have trouble focusing. So, why do so many people believe it? One reason could be the circumstances in which sugary treats are usually given. Kids often consume sweets at parties, play dates, or other exciting situations. These settings naturally make kids feel more energized and excited, and parents might mistakenly link that behavior to sugar rather than the environment. Another reason is the placebo effect. If parents expect sugar to make their kids hyper, they're more likely to notice or believe that behavior when it happens. While there are good reasons to limit sugar for health, the connection between sugar and hyperactivity is largely a misconception. In reality, kids just have a lot of energy to begin with, especially when they're excited. Myth 5. The average person swallows 8 spiders a year while sleeping. This myth is perhaps the creepiest of them all. Just the thought of spiders crawling into our mouths at night is enough to make anyone shiver. But don't worry, this one is pure fiction. There is absolutely no scientific evidence to suggest that we swallow spiders in our sleep, let alone 8 per year. Spiders are generally not interested in humans, and they're unlikely to crawl into our mouths. In fact, spiders are actually very sensitive to vibrations, and the movements and breathing sounds of a sleeping person would typically scare them away. This myth likely started as a spooky story, intended to make people uncomfortable. But in reality, spiders prefer to stay away from large, warm-blooded creatures like us. So, you can rest easy knowing that spiders are not crawling into your mouth while you sleep. And there you have it, some of the most popular science myths debunked. These myths are powerful stories that have been passed down for years, and while they're fun to think about, they often don't hold up to scientific scrutiny. From the idea that we only use 10% of our brains to the belief that sugar causes hyperactivity, these tales reveal just how creative we can be when it comes to making sense of the world around us. If you enjoyed this video and learned something new, don't forget to hit the like button, share it with a friend, and subscribe to Uncommon Facts for more content like this. Let us know in the comments which myth surprised you the most, or if there's another one you'd like us to cover. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next episode on Uncommon Facts.